Hi. So we continue working with UX and our course. And in the first three lessons, we tested interface using tools like ChatGPT, Maze, SurveyMonkey, and UiZard, of course. So now you have practical skill that will allow you to conduct independent interface audits, recruit respondents, test hypotheses, and apply this knowledge in your work. And what I should say, learning provides you with a safe environment for experiments where it's okay to make mistakes. Over time, you'll feel more confident and be able to easily conduct tests in your projects entirely independently. So by yourself and with your own projects and products. So let's wrap and move forward. In this lesson, we'll discuss what's important to study for further professional development. We'll talk about practical skill and knowledge. And at the end, there's a bonus for participating in the course UX Research Lab for everyone who watches the lesson until the very end. So if you started with the last lesson and haven't had a chance to watch the first three yet, be sure to go back to them, be better absorb the material. I personally review all homework, assignments, and completed exercises. You'll receive feedback that will help improve your skills. Don't miss out on the opportunity to enforce your knowledge through practice. So why do I teach? I love it, actually, really. I'm a true fan of UX research, analytics, and AI now specifically because now I'm UX lead of AI lab in my organization. So during this time, I worked in various projects, international projects, and from different domains. And I like share my knowledge. I like share my experience, maybe, and my knowledge in this sphere. I really enjoy my job and find it fulfilling. But at some point, I realized that I want to do more than just research because I like teaching, and actually my first degree in educational sphere. So it's very interesting. I remember how challenging it was when I was just starting out, and I was really happy. I was lucky to have a great maybe tutor because if not, it's really hard to get into any sphere, and specifically UX research, because it's really new. So it wasn't clear if I was doing everything right because there weren't any books or I don't know articles about UX research analytics, and the most maybe important thing now using AI in UX research because it's really new, it's interesting, and it's very useful UX research, and actually in any point of work like design, research, analytics, and so on. So of course we will work with AI on our course. So today I have interns working with me and strive to approach our collaboration differently. We discuss, learn, and listen each other. This has become my teaching principle, helping instead of merely providing information. So I like working in teams because it's really interesting and helpful to collaborate with people, because actually later you will collaborate with colleagues, new people, and it should be really helpful. So, who should focus on understanding UX for career advancement? I think actually everybody, but mostly UX UI designers, analysts, product managers, UX specialists, of course, marketers, and students and beginners in design and IT sphere. UX isn't just about design. Actually, it's mostly not about design, but it's about logic, analytics, and strategy. So, when should you start learning? Of course, but primarily, if you lack confidence due to insufficient theoretical knowledge and practical skills, for example, but you feel that you miss it. If you struggle to understand methodologies and tools used in UX research like Maze, UiZard, and so on, there are so many tools actually. If you don't have enough real-world projects to hone your skills. So it's okay, because it's really hard to start when you have no any projects, or I don't know, tasks to apply it for your, for example, portfolio or resume. So it's okay. If you're finding it difficult to study this topic on your own and are having trouble applying theory to practice, and if you're facing challenges creating a portfolio that attracts employers, if you have limited time for learning and completing projects due to other commitments, work, family, because I try to make courses with very short videos to concentrate on very important things and collaborate. If you like a community for exchanging experiences and receiving support. And if you find it hard to learn without feedback and guidance from mentors and experts who can direct and assist you in complex situations. And if you're feeling uncertain and unsure which steps to take to further develop your UX career. And finally, if you're struggling to understand how to transition to the next level in your professional career, for example, you're a UX researcher junior and you'd like to move, of course, and promote, you have a promotion. So it's our case. If you face difficulties mastering the practical use of tools and software commonly used in UX research. What happens if you don't get a handle on UX research in time? Methodological errors leads to inaccurate studies and incorrect data analysis, resulting in low quality work. Of course, research will be incomplete and products won't meet actual user needs. Negative client and employer experiences, potentially damaging your professional reputation. Loss of competitive advantages, professionals with deeper knowledge and skills. There is another scenario where you already have basic knowledges. Often I see people entering UX familiar with tools and methodologies, but facing different challenge, a lack of practical experience. So like theory and practice. And unfortunately, it's true, because it's really difficult to choose methodology for concrete sphere, concrete product and interface design and so on, because there are so many differences and you should understand these differences, feel these differences. So we will try to do that. And it sounds straightforward in theory, maybe, but without real task, skills aren't solidified. This leads to several issues, like lack of confidence, of course, because, for example, you try to make better your product, your interface, but unfortunately, for example, your expectations don't meet users' needs. And yes, it's a problem. Employment challenges, of course, because different meetings with HR specialists is really difficult when you have no many experiences and chances to get into UX research career. Wondering if you can't determine your direction, you might waste time on unnecessary steps and then eventually lose motivation, of course. So real learning, in my opinion, should always include practice. So we will have real projects and works in our course. Maybe you agree. So let's talk about something pleasant and explain why building a career in UX is great. So what kind of salaries of UX specialists earn? What's the current demand for UX specialists and market focus for this profession in the near future? So UX salaries in the United States, a UX researcher, UX designer, you can see that it's very impressive. And Europe too. But you should understand that it's really difficult to get into UX research firstly, because this sphere can be really interesting for some people, but very, for example, hard for others. So for me, the first steps were really hard because, for example, I don't like to talk to people every day for, I don't know, 8 hours, 6 hours. But later I understood that it wasn't obligatory, necessary to have so many interviews a day. So now it's okay, but firstly it was really hard. And some incomes around the world, Canada, India, Japan, Singapore, and so on. UX designer. Actually, it's an interesting thing because in some companies there are different positions like UX designer and UX researcher. It's different thing. but sometimes it's one person design and test designs, so it's okay, but sometimes it's different. So, chart showing the growing demand for specialists in this field. United States Bureau of Labor Statistics indicates that the demand for industrial UX designers will grow by 3% annually. So, and some point about UX trends. The first one, current and future market demand for UX UI designers, specifically with AI. Because maybe later, maybe in 1 year, 2 years, and maybe 5 or 10, would be really, really helpful and important to have these skills, specifically in IT sphere. Because now we're talking not only about maybe money, but users' needs, and it's important, really important now. New markets, of course, like India and China. Technologies, of course, VR, AR, yes, and UX in these spheres. Unfortunately, I didn't have opportunity to work with VR and AR in UX research, but I'm sure it's very interesting, and it's very maybe helpful to have an experience in the sphere, specifically with these gadgets and technologies. Artificial intelligence, of course, no doubts. Voice user interfaces. Maybe this is the next step when we will have only voice user interfaces. Like, for example, I shouldn't click different buttons, like, I don't know, color, price of any clothes, but only, okay, hey, Siri or Alexa, I would like to buy white sneakers, price, etc. And voila, I have some options, and I can choose, and that's all. One click, and I have a result. So next, like the Lord Player prayer for any UX specialist who wants to earn well in today's market, it's important to know user psychological characteristics. Yes, over time, technologies are getting better and develop, of course, but our psychological characteristics are the same, unfortunately in the same time. Benchmarking, so like desk research and research brief, respondent recruitment, interviews, customer development, what is it and where it's applicable, customer journey map, job to be done, personas, prototyping, moderated and unmoderated usability tests, specifically and moderated, because I'm pretty sure it's the next step, next level. UX metrics, types, and how to measure them. First click in 5-second test, surveys and testing, UX audit, and AI in UX research. Now I want to tell you about the foundation that every UX specialist should know. All these topics are included in the basic package of the UX Research Lab course. So let me tell you about the UX Research Lab course and how it's structured, and about some topics from this course, and more details about UX Research Lab. So let's go. What is the concept behind UX Research Lab? First of all, this is our main course, and it's essentially a constructor built on the idea of freedom and experimentation. So we have the base course, and then you can choose anything you would like to learn more in deep into. Maybe this is quantitative research, maybe qualitative research, maybe product vision, and so on. So you literally enter a space of freedom and experiments where you'll get hands-on experience with various tools and methodologies UX research. Also, we will work with AI tools and how it makes faster, deeper, and more useful research and insights. So there is a core curriculum suitable for professionals at different levels, actually absolutely different. So June, middle, and senior, or maybe you are on the start and it's the first course in your life about UX research. It's okay. So the program includes an introductory lesson, 13 models, and the final project. So, introductory lesson, module 1, psychological characteristics of users. Then we will work with benchmarking and competitive analysis. Then drafting a research brief. Sometimes some people could say that it's not important, but it's really important when you talk to your stakeholders and you're trying to fit with them. So then recruiting respondents. Of course, now we have some tools and methods where we shouldn't use recruiting, but sometimes it's really necessary. And of course, we will talk about synthetic respondents, how to work with it, how to create it. Then the interviews and customer development. Then customer journey map and persona, jobs to be done, so some frameworks. Then prototyping, and then moderated and unmoderated test, because sometimes it's easier to create a survey or a moderated test and then the next day collect data. So then first click testing and 5-second test, surveys and lead testing, UX audit. Actually on the free course we started learning that. Then analyzing result and presenting reports. Then applying AI through UX stages, every stages, and some tools, some AI tools which are really helpful in our work. And then full cycle UX development. So that will be a big project in groups. So you work with some colleagues or some other people, and it's very useful to start your career, to start understanding how to work on research. So completing this program gives you the opportunity to gain practical experience in real-world research and work with people, communicate, and understand how users behave actually. So, and there are short practical programs tailored to different levels of expertise. So, of course, diaries, card sorting, 3 testing, brand health tracking, focus groups, and comparing multiple designs, A/B testing, and or multiple testing. So, also, we will try to work market analysis, MPS, and so on. It's supplementary, it's extra courses if you want. So, you can select the topics you're interested in, and upon completion of each, you'll receive a separate certificate confirming your level of knowledge and which subjects you have learned during this course. How does the training work? The training takes place online on educational platform. You'll have access to videos, presentations, additional materials, and assignments 24 hours a day. How long does the training last? The basic program lasts 8 weeks, so not so long, and you can work independently or in a group, so up to you. Through the courses, you'll complete all stages of UX research from data collection to final presentation. Yeah. So who teaches the courses? The main courses are delivered by me, but we also have experienced experts for mini courses and as tutors. Our instructors work at companies like Alphabet, Amazon, Apple, Meta, and Microsoft. So what will you gain after the course? Valuable experience, of course, because you will work with different tasks and with different methods. Then community. Yeah, you should communicate, you should talk to people, because it's one of the, one of the part of UX researchers' work, and actually understanding your users or people, stakeholders, and so on. A real case for your portfolio, so for example for LinkedIn and so on. Feedback from a professional recruiter on your LinkedIn profile, because it's my friend and she's gorgeous. She's the best in in recruiter sphere. So upon finishing the course, you'll receive a certificate detailing your achievements in the number of hours spent in class. What do our students say? So some reviews about my teaching and results, and of course I'm proud of it. So okay. And then your portfolio after the course. Your portfolio after the course will include a real case studies that will strengthen your expertise and make you more attractive to employers. And of course, some new methods you have used during the course. Here is an example of project structure for your portfolio. Project title, research objective, research methods, key findings, recommendations, and results. And be careful. So, for example, if you're a designer or product manager or UX researcher, so the biggest mistake in portfolio, and it's when you have great design, great interface or product, but you can't explain why you chose this design, these elements in this interface, and UX research helps to make that. So yeah, in your resume and portfolio, you will be able to showcase visual elements from your research, and it's more attractive, I think. So yeah, and the employment after the course is better, maybe easier. Certificate and diploma after our course, but you should notice that finally we have a final project and a survey or test of your knowledge, and then you'll get certificate and diploma. So, cost and payment terms. Each program has its own price. For instance, the basic program costs $250 and includes 13 models suitable for anyone. Then you can choose additional models yourself. The average cost per model is $50. The constructor works so that when purchasing several topics, the cost of training decreases significantly, of course. Start with the basic program and unlock mini courses at a special community rate. So purchase the basic program first and you'll be able to add 3 extra topics at a discounted price. You can see this. Then, special bonus for action takers. Be one of the first 10 to enroll and unlock a bonus, a career development model from a professional recruiter. So, we continue support even after course completion. So, maybe some questions about research, about project, and so on. Types of support. Consultations. So, if you have questions or difficulties, you can always seek consultation through our care service. Access to materials. All learning materials, lecture recordings, and supplementary resources remain accessible in your personal account for 6 months. Bonus and final offer. So for all of you who made it to the end and thoroughly studied the material, thank you very much for your hard work, interest, and engagement. You are doing great and I'm proud of you. And for your passion for knowledge, I really do offer the best deal. Here's what you get. 1 extra topic completely free. 1 coaching session with me personally. Maybe, I don't know, some questions about career, methods, and so on. Career development model from a professional recruiter. And this bonus are exclusively available to those who purchase the training right away. Yeah, don't miss this chance growing UX with AI. And until next time, thank you very much.